They say salt water and electricity don't mix.
If you know what you're doing, it's a recipe for justice.
It's aesthetically incompatible.
Dad! The door!
She thought she was evicting a tenant. She didn't know she was cutting the ground wire.
Everything burns.
"6 a.m. usually sounds different. Usually it's the sound of coffee percolating, the sound of a diesel engine coughing to life, the sound of my daughter, Emma, laughing at some dumb joke I made about the bait. But that Tuesday was quiet. I walked down the pier, my boots hitting the wood, thud, thud, thud. And I stopped at slip 47. It was empty. Just cold, black water swirling where my life used to be. Emma was standing there. She's 16, trying so hard to be tough, but she was just staring at the empty water, shivering in her hoodie. She wasn't crying because we lost a boat. She was crying because we lost her. My wife died 4 years ago. That boat, a 1982 Grady White, was the last place on earth where the three of us had been happy. It wasn't just fiberglass and an outboard motor. It was a time machine, and someone had towed it away like it was trash. Then my phone buzzed, a voicemail. I didn't even have to look at the screen to know who it was. The smell of expensive chemical perfume practically oozed out of the speaker.
Hi, Mr. Rodriguez. Karen Blackstone here. HOA compliance. Just a quick heads up, we went ahead and removed that vessel of yours this morning. As for the voicemail I left you 3 weeks ago, that eyesore is aesthetically incompatible with our new community luxury standards. You can pick it up from the impound lot. Oh, if you can afford the fees, of course. Toodles!
Toodles. She thought she was bullying a broke single dad. She thought I was just some grease monkey who couldn't fight back. What this yacht club princess didn't know is that I've spent 25 years as a master marine electrician. I don't just fix boats. I wire the nervous systems of million-dollar yachts. I know how to make things work. And more importantly, I know how to make things short-circuit. Let me tell you about Karen Blackstone. You know her. Even if you've never met her, you know her. Picture a 54-year-old woman, bleached blonde hair, sprayed so hard it could deflect a bullet. She drives a white Mercedes SUV, pristine, never seen a speck of dirt, with vanity plates that read, Boat Boss. She lives in a $2 million waterfront mansion, but she spends her days patrolling the docks with a clipboard, looking for rust, looking for joy, and trying to kill it. It started 3 weeks before the tow. I was working on the hull, sanding down a patch of teak. I heard the clicking. Click, 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 like a countdown timer. Karen.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Are you the owner of this project?
I'm the owner of the boat, Karen. And it's not a project. It's a classic. Karen.
It's a 1982. It's ancient. Look, we passed a new rule last month. Anything over 35 years old requires a vintage vessel permit. And frankly, this doesn't look vintage. It looks like a floating flea market.
Tank. Floating flea market. I had spent 4 years restoring that boat. Hand sanded the rails, rewired the entire console with my own hands. My dad, Miguel, God rest his soul, he was a Navy electrician. He taught me that you respect the machine, you respect the work. Karen respected nothing but the price tag. Tank. It's grandfathered in, Karen. I've been here 3 years. Check the bylaws. Karen.
Oh, sweetie, I wrote the bylaws. You have 72 hours or it's gone.
Tank. I found out later that the rule she quoted, it wasn't legal. She never held a vote. She never notified the residents. In the world of HOAs, a rule is only real if you give proper notice. But Karen didn't care about the law. She used the HOA like a cudgel to beat people into submission. And when she took my boat, she wasn't just enforcing a rule. She was hunting.
We were already drowning before she took the boat. Emma has type 1 diabetes. Even with insurance, the insulin, the pumps, the monitors, it bleeds you dry. 3 years ago, when the medical bills hit, they wiped us out, bankrupted. When I went to the impound lot, the guy behind the glass just shrugged. Total is $3,200, cash or certified check, plus $50 a day for storage. $3,000. I had maybe $400 in my checking account. I walked back to my truck, and there it was, under my windshield wiper. Karen's business card. On the back, she'd written, "Prestige Marine buys boats as is. Call me if you want to clear your debt." She created the debt to force me to sell her the boat. It wasn't an HOA violation. It was a shakedown. That night, Emma and I sat on the floor of our apartment. We were eating gas station pizza, the kind that tastes like cardboard and grease, because I couldn't afford groceries. Emma was working on her college applications. She wants to be a marine engineer. Smart kid, way smarter than me. "Dad, your bracelet." I looked down. I was tapping my wrist. I wear my dad's old Navy anchor chain bracelet. I tap it when I'm thinking, when I'm trying to solve a circuit. Tap, tap, tap. I was doing it so hard my skin was red. "We're not going to get it back, are we?" "Hey, look at me. We figure it out. We always figure it out. Sometimes the circuit breaks, Em, and you just gotta rewire the whole damn panel." But Karen didn't stop at the boat. She wanted to break me so I'd have to sell. The next week, I lost 3 contracts. $8,000 worth of work. Gone. Why? Because anonymous complaints were filed with the city about my electrical license. Rumors started floating around the yacht club. "Don't hire Tank. He's unstable. Maybe he deals drugs." The stress got to Emma. One afternoon, she came home crying because some rich kid at school told her that her dad was a felon. Her blood sugar spiked. Stress does that to diabetics. It's like poison. I spent that night in the ER, holding your hand, while an IV dripped into her arm. The bill for that night was another $2,000. Sitting in that plastic chair, watching my daughter sleep, something in me snapped. Not like a twig, like a high-tension cable. I wasn't sad anymore. I was cold. I was focused. I stopped thinking like a victim. I started thinking like an electrician. You want to catch a thief? You don't call the cops. Not when the thief is the law. You catch them by understanding the system they use. I called my union brother, Louis. Louis is a big guy, hands like catcher's mitts, but he can solder a circuit board with the delicacy of a surgeon. Louis. Tank, say the word. We go down there, we make a scene. She can't do this to family. Tank. No muscle, Louis. I need your brain. I need the blueprints. Tank. We pulled the electrical schematics for the marina. I helped install that grid 10 years ago. I knew every junction box, every breaker, every master switch. I also got Pete involved. Pete's a security guard. Good guy. Hated Karen because she treated him like a servant. He let me install a pinhole camera in slip 23. For 3 weeks, we watched, and we saw the pattern. Emma cracked it. She made a spreadsheet. Emma.
Dad, look. She files the violation on Monday, tows on Friday, but look at Tuesday. Every Tuesday following a tow, she lists a refurbished boat for sale at her dealership, but she never lists the VIN numbers.
Tank. It was a factory. She'd steal the boats using the HOA rules, intimidate the owners into selling for pennies, and then flip them. But then we found the real dirt. I hacked into the marina's power usage logs. Karen had boats sitting in slips that were supposed to be empty. She was storing her stolen inventory in the marina for free, dodging about $47,000 in slip fees, while charging me for being there legally. And then, the insurance scam. She was selling the boats to people out of state, Texas, Georgia, and then filing insurance claims saying the boats were stolen from her, double dipping. Tank. This wasn't just an HOA dispute. This was a federal crime ring. Interstate transport of stolen goods, insurance fraud, racketeering. I called an old contact, Carlos, insurance investigator. When I showed him the spreadsheet, his eyes nearly popped out of his head. Carlos.
Tank, this is massive. I've got 47 claims across 3 counties that fit this pattern. The FBI has been looking for the hub. You just found it.
We were getting ready to spring the trap. But Karen, she sensed it. Rats always sense when the ship is sinking. Derek, the marina manager, her little lapdog, tried to bribe me, offered me 50 grand cash to walk away. I told him to go to hell. That night, I woke up to the fire alarm screaming. Tank, breathless, reliving the moment. The smell of burning plastic, acrid, toxic. The electrical room under my apartment had been torched, accelerant. We got out, me and Emma, standing in the parking lot in our pajamas while the fire department blasted water into our building. We lost everything. My tools, the evidence files, thank God for the cloud. Emma's insulin supply. Emma, live scene, crying, terrified. Dad, she tried to kill us. She actually tried to kill us. Tank, narrating, cold steel. That was the moment I stopped caring about getting my boat back. This was war. We moved into Luis's garage. I slept on a cot next to a drill press. And I built the device. Sound effect, ratchet cranking, wires being twisted. Tank, technical, focused. I bought a junker boat, a decoy, and inside the bilge pumps of 12 boats, my boat and 11 other stolen ones sitting in the marina, I installed something special. I didn't use bombs. I'm not a terrorist, despite what Karen tried to tell the cops later. I used dye packs, bank security tech, pressurized canisters of industrial, permanent, purple marking fluid. I wired them into the boat's 12-volt DC system, connected to a wireless relay. The range, 2 miles. The result? A 40-foot spray of purple rain that stains fiberglass, wood, and human skin forever.
Saturday night, the Prestige Marine Annual Estate Sale. The yacht club was lit up like a Christmas tree. 200 wealthy buyers, sipping champagne, looking at estate boats. My boat, my Grady White, was center stage, polished, waxed. A sign on it said, "Vintage Classic, $45,000. I was parked 2 miles away in Lewis's van. I had a monitor set up. Emma was inside the Gala, brave kid, live streaming the whole thing on Instagram.
Emma. Dad, she's walking onto the podium. She's wearing a white dress, like pure white. It's perfect.
Tank, narrating. I watched the screen. Karen took the mic. She looked like a queen. Arrogant, untouchable.
Karen. Welcome, everyone. These magnificent vessels represent the finest acquisitions. They are pristine. They are pure.
Tank, narrating, intense. I looked at the remote in my hand. It was a simple toggle switch, one click. I thought about my wife. I thought about Emma crying in the hospital. I thought about the fire. I tapped my anchor bracelet one last time.
Tank.
Say cheese, Karen.
Sound effect. A loud, pressurized hiss, followed by a collective gasp or scream from a crowd. Tank.
Voice filled with dark satisfaction. On the screen, it looked like a synchronized swimming event gone wrong. 12 boats exploded, not with fire, but with purple. Violet geysers shot 40 feet into the air. It rained down on the deck, it rained down on the champagne, and it rained down on Karen. Her white dress turned a deep, violent purple instantly. She was spinning around, shrieking, slipping on the dye.
Karen. My hair! My dress! What is happening? Tank.
The boats, oh, it was beautiful. They were stained, marked. You could see them from space. Emma's voice on the live stream was the best part.
Emma. That's my dad's boat, the purple one. She stole it, and now she's wearing it.
The FBI didn't need to look hard for the evidence. It was color-coded. Agent Sarah Kim walked right up to Karen, who looked like a bruised plum, and cuffed her. Karen was screaming about terrorism. I walked up, holding the remote. The news crews were there. Reporter.
Sir, did you do this?
Tank. It's just marine electrical work. Sometimes, you gotta make the stolen property visible to prove it's yours. Tank, narrating. Karen got 8 to 15 years, federal. Derek flipped on her to save his own skin, got 3 years. The court ordered $2.3 million in restitution. Me? I got my boat back. It's got a faint purple stain on the teak now. We couldn't get it all out. Emma calls them justice marks. We got a whistleblower reward, $45,000. Emma's college is paid for. She's at MIT now. I started a nonprofit with the rest of the money, Purple Justice Marine. We do free electrical inspections for working-class families. Make sure nobody can use a code violation to steal their dreams. We go fishing every Saturday again. Just me and the memory of my wife, and sometimes Emma when she's home on break. The water isn't black anymore. It's blue. And sometimes, if the sun hits the deck just right, a little bit purple.